Hello again. Today I will be discussing the fourth AECT standard, Professional Knowledge and Skills. I will show you a few of my favorite artifacts that I created under this standard. Professional knowledge and skills state that students design, develop, implement, and evaluate technology-rich learning environments within a supportive community of practice. Let's take a look at the artifacts I created under professional knowledge and skills. So there were a few projects throughout my degree where I collaborated with peers. In EdTech 503 Instructional Design, I created an instructor implementation guide where we identified instructional problems and solutions. These discussions focused on the analyze phase of the ADDIE principles, which involved analyzing the needs of learners. Let's take a look at this further. One of the discussions focused on creating the instructor implementation guide. This was the guide that I created for this class. Before taking this class, I was unfamiliar with instructional design. One thing that I learned as a designer is that it is important to have a guide in place in order to organize and implement the final design of a project. During the discussions, I got feedback from my peers along the way, and we also had to describe how our data will be collected and propose a solution to the instructional design problem. The second artifact that I created under professional knowledge and skills is the digital flip presentation. For this project, I highlighted some of the advantages of flipping a classroom and also some of the difficulties and constraints. Before this project, I was unaware of the difficulties our society faces. I was also introduced to this concept of the digital divide. The digital divide as a whole remains an enormous and complicated issue. Let's take a look at this further. Here was the presentation that I created for EdTech 501. During this presentation, I addressed what makes the flipping approach different from the traditional approach in the classroom. I also talked about the overall reaching goal of switching to the flipping approach, the use of peer instruction, the pros and the cons of these concepts, as well as the strategies used to implement these concepts.